news is, yeah, we have one pocket of slowing, all due to an incident, and this is going to be on the 15, right at the 56 connector. In fact, you can see the icon. You can actually see some of that slowing as you approach Ted Williams coming in from Rancho Bernardo or Rancho Penasquitos. That may slow things down for you this morning. Other than that, we're looking really nice. In fact, here's a live look on the 15. This is just at Poway Road as you make your way south and northbound out of that area. And then this is what it looks like coming in through the Del Mar area. In fact, we're still on night vision, but you could see that things are still fairly light traveling to and from the Del Mar neighborhood. Meanwhile, eventually into Tierra Santa. All right, let's go ahead and pull up some of those South Bay travel times. San Isidro to get you up to the 94, about a 15-minute ride. 54 upage all the way towards the 805 Mission Valley. Take a look at that, under 5 minutes for you. And then last but not least, Encinitas down to the 805, about 25 minutes. If you're traveling in from Escondido all the way down to the 163, we're looking at about a 20-minute ride for you. Netta. Here's the deal. If you're traveling in from Escondido, Rancho Bernardo, Rancho Penasquitos, Forest Ranch area, you may run into some slowing. We have a crash on the 56 at the 15. Also, stop and go all the way down to the 56. So just a heads up, if you're headed out the door and you think that you're going to be at steady speeds, yeah, you might want to think again. You may want to take some surface streets around Rancho Santa Fe or even the Carmel Mountain area to get around that slowing, but most of the brake tapping stretching for about a mile and a half or so before you hit the 56 on the 15. We have another crash that we're tracking. This one is on the shoulder in the North Park area on the 805 North, right before you get to the 15. So this is as you make your way out of National City, passing City Heights, headed towards North Park. That's not causing any slowing, so that's some good news as you head out the door this morning. Earlier, we saw some smoke from this camera here, but it looks like the county, with the exception of that crash that we're tracking on the 15 right at the 56. 6:10 is the time. Let's go ahead and pull up those border wait times and see what we're working with. About an hour and a half to get you inbound from San Isidro's port of entry. A little better, not by much though. About an hour or hour 40 to get you across from Otay Mesa's port of entry this morning. Back to didn't warn ya, and I have to say Caltrans, they emphasized and reiterated that these are weather permitting projects. So I know there's no rain forecasted next week, but there could potentially be a system moving in next weekend, and that would delay and allow for that project, the one headed northbound, to be rescheduled. We'll keep tracking these closures here on air and over on our website, so make sure that you stay tuned with us here on CBS 8, online and on air. And if there's an issue that you would like us to look at the crash here on the maps, yeah, it looks like crews have 4 miles per hour, but it looks like they have lanes completely blocked off right as you pass the 56. So even take the 56 to the 5 to get around that. That would be a good alternate route this morning, or take some of those surface streets through Rancho Santa Fe. We have another incident on the 54 Shaw coming in from the Spring Valley area, headed towards Bonita and Chula Vista, nearing the 805. You may also want to opt for the 125, hop on the 94 to get around that slowing as well. And then we have another crash that we're tracking, this one on the 805, but thankfully it's not causing any slowing as of last check. So let's go ahead and pull up those travel times in from Escondido right now. This is typically half of that total, anywhere between 20 to 30 minutes. Right now it'll take you over an hour to get from Escondido down to the 163 because of that crash on the 15 south right at the 56 Ted Williams. And of course, we'll continue to keep you updated with that incident. Eric, this morning, or maybe opting for some surface streets around Rancho Santa Fe. Maybe you find your way onto the 56 and use the 5 as an alternate route. We're also tracking another crash, this one in the Spring Valley, Paradise Hills area. The left lane is blocked in Bay Terraces, Bonita on the 54 right at Briarwood, and it's causing stop and go traffic all the way to Hamishon Boulevard. You could actually see the 125 also seeing their fair share of slowing right now. All right, again, our major problem spot is coming in from Escondido down to the 163 merge because of that earlier crash on the 15 right at the 56. So right now we're tracking close to an hour to get you from Escondido down to the 163 merge.
The bats, Vanessa.
He's great. I mean, I did read that when they're like the dogs are licking the air. It means that they're Oh my gosh, I can't even talk this morning. It means that I was like
that.
petty.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, I was like, how do I put this in words? But yes, so hopefully he loved. I just took a bath. 6:51 is the time. All right, let's go ahead and focus in on traffic. Switch gears here. I want to take, and you could actually see that we're continuing to see slowing as you make your way southbound. That's the southbound drive right near the HOV lanes as you make your way towards the 56 connector coming towards Poway. So again, we have that earlier crash that we were tracking. A fire was involved reportedly, and it is causing slowing despite crews clearing some of those lanes there. The slowing has not cleared, unfortunately. We're down to about 20 mile per hour speeds right about here, but notice how it starts to improve once you get towards the 56 connector. We're also continuing to track this crash involving a couple of motorcycles, and it's blocking the left lane on the 54 West right at Briarwood. It's going to slow things down for you as you're making your way in from Hamishaw Boulevard. All right, we'll be back after these messages. 56. We had an earlier crash. It has cleared. Unfortunately, the slowing has not. I do want to start off in the South Bay, though, because this one is still active, and we are following a crash involving a couple of motorcycles on the 54 as you make your way in from La Presa, the Spring Valley area, headed towards Paradise Hills or Bonita towards the 805. You may encounter some slowing. In fact, you could see all of that red there from Hamishaw all the way down to the 125 due to that crash. All right, let's see. Chopper, let's see if we can get in from Escondido down to the 163 merge. You're still encountering a good amount of slowing due to that earlier crash on the 15 right at Scripps Poway Parkway. Back to you guys. On the 15 South, we had an earlier crash on the 15 right at Ted Williams. It has cleared. Unfortunately, it's taken a while for the slowing to as well. So right now, speeds anywhere between 5 to 15 miles per hour. So if you're just tuning in and you're headed in from Rancho Bernardo, Rancho Penasquitos, the Forest Ranch area, this may impact you. All right, and let's go ahead and take you up to the North County 78 right at North. Take a look at the speeds right now. We're down to about 5 miles per hour or so. As we pull up those travel times, coming in from the South Bay, not too bad, but again, the 54, they're seeing their fair share of slowing right now, headed towards the 805 connector. And then we're tracking about a 25-minute ride in from Escondido as you make your way towards the 163, of course, because of that crash that we were tracking right near the Poway area. All right, closing. Keep track of these closures on air and on our website. They did emphasize that if rain, again, these projects weather permitting, so if we do get some rain next weekend, they'll have to delay that project, closing the 805 from the 52 all the way up to Sorrento Valley. So we'll let you know, of course, so you can plan ahead before you hit the road. Up on the CAD, and it's in Chula Vista, blocking the right lane on the 805 North right at H Street. So it's right as you leave Chula Vista and head towards a 54, eventually making your way into National City. And we're still tracking this crash. This has involved a couple of motor avenue as you make your way towards the 15 connector. Here's the 15 right at Poway Road. Poway actually saw a good amount of slowing on the 15 due to an earlier crash, a fiery crash. It has cleared and the slowing is starting to improve slowly but surely this morning. All right, we'll be back. This is typical. H Street coming in from Chula Vista, making your way towards National City, Sweetwater Road. It's causing a little bit of slowing as you make your way in from L Street. And then we have another crash on the 805, this one blocking the two right lanes in Otay Mesa, and that's on the 805 right at Palm Avenue. And it's causing a stop and go all the way towards that 905 intersection. All right, let's go ahead and pull up those travel times because we are in the red. A lot of slowing right now. 25 to 30 mile per hour speeds coming in from San Ysidro as well as National City headed north. If you're traveling in from the North County headed south, we're still encountering slowing coming in from down to the 163. We had a fiery crash earlier on the 15 right at Scripps Poway Parkway. It has cleared, but the slowing is still continuing to build coming in from Escondido, making your way down to the Rancho Penasquitos, Rancho Bernardo area. And then here's what it looks like coming in from the East County headed west. About 7 minutes inbound from the College area towards Mission Valley. A 20-minute ride in from Lemon Grove to downtown as you make your way through Golden Hill and South Park. And then a 15-minute ride with average speeds of about 35 miles per hour coming in from Santee, and that's on the 52. Now,
Halfway through? What's
halfway
up?
through the week, hump day. 7:57 is the time. Let's go ahead and start off in the South Bay. We're tracking two crashes, so back to back on the 805, right? Slowing as you make your way in from Telegraph Canyon or any of those streets south of that direction. We also have another crash, this one on the 5 southbound right before Lomas Santa Fe, and it is causing slowing all the way back to Birmingham Drive. So yeah, a lot of slowing coming in from Carlsbad and Encinitas all the way down to Solana Beach. due to that crash there. Let's go ahead and pull up those travel times because we are seeing some thick rides out there. 25 to 15 minutes right now to get you northbound in from the South Bay. CBSA.com is where you can find more traffic and weather updates. We'll be back after this. This is the 78 as you make your way in from Escondido headed towards San Marcos. We have two back-to-back crashes on the 805 right near H Street. So as you approach the 54, anywhere south of the 54 in Chula Vista, if you use the 805, you're going to encounter additional slowing because of those two back-to-back crashes. I would say opt for the 5 to get around that, but even the 5 is pretty slow as you make your way up towards the mile of cars. We're also tracking another crash, this one on the 5 South in Solana Beach, right before Loma Santa Fe, and it's causing slowing all the way down to Birmingham. So as you make your way in from Carlsbad this morning, you are going to tap the brakes all the way towards that crash there. 25 to 15 minutes, that's what we're tracking coming in from the South Bay. We'll showcase more of those travel times coming up a little later. Back to you guys. Tracking a crash on the 125 South right at Spring Street. We have another one on the 94. This is at College Grove. That may slow things down if you're making your way in from Lemon Grove headed towards the 805 connector. And then we're still tracking this. Yeah, a lot going on out there. This one's right at H Street. As you make your way northbound coming in from the Otay Mesa area or Chula Vista North towards Bonita, usually there's not this much slowing in the 8 o'clock hour, but you can tack on additional slowing because of that incident there. 25 to 45 to get you northbound on both the 5 and the 805 this morning. And then if you're traveling in from the North County headed south, 30 minutes down to Encinitas, 25 minutes right now in from Escondido, and then full span of the 78, about 22 minutes from the 15 to the permitting. So they will reschedule some of those closures we just mentioned if it does rain. You can find more information and stay up to date with these infrastructure projects online and on air, CBS 8. You can stream us or you can head to our website so you can plan ahead before you hit the road. And don't forget, with the latest crash that we're tracking, this is up in the North County in the Vista neighborhood on the 78 West, right before you hit Vista Village Drive. It's causing some slowing in both directions, both east and westbound. And then we're continuing to track this crash on the right shoulder in Chula Vista on the 805 northbound right at H Street. The slowing, it was really bad just about 15 minutes ago, and it looks like there's some improvement. We're no longer in the red. We're actually in the yellow as you approach National City. Speeds averaging about 50, 55 miles per hour. CBSA.com is where you can go to find more weather and traffic alerts. We'll be back after these messages. Again, a gloomy, nice start to the day. This is a live look on the Vista as you make your way towards the North Park area, nearing the 15 connector. And then this is the 5 in both directions right at Villa de la Valle. Right side of your screen is that drive as you make your way southbound headed towards Sorrento Valley. All right, we got a crash that we are tracking right before Governor Drive on the 805 northbound, causing some stop and go all the way back to the 163. In fact, that stretch of slowing, yeah, that's all being caused by that crash right there. Once you get past the Kensington and Normal Heights on the 15 North right at Friars Road, looks like it's on the right shoulder, but causing a good amount of slowing northbound. And then we have another crash, this one partially blocking the off-ramp in Chula Vista on the 805 North to 8th Street, causing some slowing from Telegraph Canyon and L Street. All right, travel times, not too bad. We're still looking at slowing coming in from the 5 headed northbound, 54 up to the 8, about a 20-minute ride. Here's what it looks like as you make your way coming in from the East County headed west, about 8 to 14 minutes coming in from Lemon Grove in the College area. 30 minutes right now inbound from Oceanside to Encinitas, about a 20-minute ride in from Escondido down to the 163 merge, and 18 on the 78 full span from Escondido all the way towards Oceanside as you make your way westbound. Eric.